just about to get underway as the starting fives have been announced. Sit tight. We'll be back in just a moment. It's Thursday night, and it's the NBA here on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Hey, Kevin. Well, another Kevin Durant, is just as dedicated to his craft as you are at yours, but it's off the court where he says he's been on a search, pushing my limits, the flow of life, the people I meet, the environment I want to live in. All that stuff fulfills me more than anything. Kevin, the game of basketball opens so many doors.
It does indeed. Thanks, David. Let's check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. Taking a look at Brooklyn, right there in 5th position, middle of the pack in the conference.
Yeah, I think for the Nets, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
Well, it's possible we haven't seen them at their best yet. They've shown they can play with any team in the league, and now they need to do it every night, not just some nights.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Christian Wood is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then there's Victor Oladipo, and it's Wall, and it's Nwaba in at the 3 spot. And for the Nets, they've got Joe Harris. Durant is out there with Green. Then it's Jordan, and it's Harden in at point guard. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Harden's got the first points up on the board for Brooklyn. And here are the Rockets. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, in that one, you really saw a difference in aggression between the two teams, particularly on the board.
Well, the rebounding numbers weren't even close. I mean, if that was a boxing match on the glass, they would have stopped that fight a long time ago.
Now, here's Green. 11 points for him in that last game against New York. Here's Durant. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Look, that's what's crazy about this guy. Inside, deep from 3. Still, he's deadly from mid-range. Durant is as good as anyone in that part of the court.
Harris finds KD. Here's Harden. The Rockets pull it in. They're getting their first look of the season at the Nets in this one.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
Well, there was a good back and forth between these teams last year, if you remember. You'd expect it to be a mismatch on paper, but it turned out to be pretty even.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
Now here's Harden. He's one of the better scorers in the league, averaging almost 25 points a game.
Harden attempts more threes than just about anyone, and you don't get that kind of leeway unless you knock him down.
And the league's preeminent practitioner of the step-back 3, James Harden, is as good as it gets. And, you know, like the skyhook, an unguardable shot, and paired with his dribble drive, a 2-move torture chamber.
Jordan. He can't get that one to fall. And Houston the other way now. No one near Wall as he lets it go. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. And thanks to that step back, Harden already the all-time leader in unassisted 3-point shots.
And not to mention 4-point plays. And up until recently, teams built elaborate offenses to create their 3-point looks. Harden the first to do it one-on-one with volume and efficiency.
Here's Wall following the basket by DeAndre Jordan. And the shot goes down.
Look, Wall is a blur. His speed is just incredible. He gets to the cup in a blink of an eye.
All against Harden. To the paint. Jordan kicks to Harden. Jordan trying to free himself up, and Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Jordan. Harden's got 8 points, and Houston calls their first timeout of the game.
Every timeout, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
Just for Brooklyn, Luwawu is checked in for Green. Landry Shamet comes in for Harris, and it's Bruce Brown in for James Harden. Now here's Wall. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Lakers.
Yeah, and as good of a scorer as he was in that game, he was even a better passer. A lot of assists for him.
Here is Durant, following the basket by John Wall. And Durant gets it to go. KD's got his second bucket of the game to go.
This just in, Durant is special. I mean, how easy the offensive game comes.
Cousins, the pass to Wall. To the middle, here's McLemore, and the dunk by McLemore.
Oh, great flow to that possession. Two players totally in sync with each other.
Durant deciding where to go with it. Rob. Oh, and here we go with Gordon. Nobody back. It's good. This game is all even.
Smooth gliding down the floor. Gordon has real nice finishing ability on the break.
The Nets have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them. Jordan high post. It's Durant on the wing from outside the arc. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. He has 7.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Rockets trail by 3. Outside, Wall lets it fly from 18. And it's Houston with another.
Oh, he's got to roll in this quarter, taking it on himself to guide their offense.
The pass to Shamet. Here's Luwawu, guarded by McLemore. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet more set on that screen. Easy call.
Yeah, even a slight movement is going to catch a ref's eye. I mean, they're trained to focus on that.
And the Rockets making a change here. Brown's checked in. Kicks it out to Gordon. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Clock at 4. Here's Cousins. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Poor job defensively on the glass. I mean, Cousins is the first guy you have to get a body on. He has good anticipation and those long, long arms.
Durant just inside the line. John Wall getting it done for the Houston Rockets.
Big moments in the big game.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Old school approach. I mean, if you have a favorable matchup inside, just keep pounding it in there.
Taking a look at the Rockets, we've got Brown. Then McLemore is out there with Gordon. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Tate in at the 4.
Credit to Jordan for finishing in spite of the foul. He never relents on the play.
And he can't get the first one. So for the Nets, Jeff Green, he's checked in for Durant. Joe Harris comes in for Luwawu Cabarro, and it's James Harden in for Landry Shamet. Christian Woods checked in for Houston. Oladipo comes in for McLemore. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we all know that there are some people who dislike James Harden's style of play. They're bored watching him shoot free throws. He said, "I see how teams guard me and find ways to exploit it. I just outthink the game, and I'm faulted for it." Kevin, that may be, but it's hard to argue with the results. Back to you.
You're right, one of the top scorers in league history, David. Thanks for that report.
And how about the vertical of Jordan, easily rising up for the timely alley-oop slam.
And Oladipo kicks to Gordon. And it's Oladipo that time on the assist by Eric Gordon. Gordon's got 3 assists now in this one. Harden with it. 8 points for him. Pops it up for Jordan. And slam dunk by Jordan.
Well, when you draw this much attention from the D, you know someone's bound to be left open. And Harden finds it.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played.
And last season, we saw teams double and trap James Harden more than any other player in the league. As soon as he crossed half court, they did not want the ball in his hands.
And it's Harden with the ball for Brooklyn. They trail by 3. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Here's Jordan out to Harris. Nets passing it around. Passes it to Brown. Shot clock at 6. Harden inside the three-point line. Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins.
And all the trapping had to frustrate Harden. But whatever may come, he's going to make the right play.
Yeah, and he can, Jed, because he's not just a good passer. He's a great passer. Averaged over double digits assists the year they played him at point guard. He makes you pay for sending help.
Gotta take care of the ball. They'll punish you if you're that careless.
That's right, and that's severe punishment right there.
No, you're right, and I love the opportunistic approach. These kinds of hustle plays can be game changers.
And it goes down 2 points. Jordan's got 9 points.
And Harden is deadly in the pick-and-roll sets.
Bruce Brown. And then for Houston, P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Cousins. David Nwaba comes in for Brown. And it's John Wall in for Gordon. Now, here's Oladipo. He's given them a healthy dose of offense each and every night with an average of 20 points a game.
Look, you gotta admire the quick trigger of Wall. Once he has the ball, he's straight up looking to shoot.
It's stolen by Oladipo. And now Oladipo pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Wood can't hit. Nets trail by 6. Now here's Harden. 8 points for him. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist.
One of the best finishers inside, period. I mean, there's nowhere on the floor Harden can't score from.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Down low. Here's Wood. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Jordan's got 4 rebounds in this game. Harden, no good.
He's disappeared this quarter. He can't get anything to drop. That's not going to help him get out of the hole.
A wide open look here for Oladipo. Another miss by Houston. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. Harris with the ball. And Green slams it in.
And Green getting off the floor there for the dunk. Really like watching him sky up flow.
For Houston, they've gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second. 5 of 10. And the foul on Harden. That is his first foul of the game. Houston making a switch. There's 47 seconds left in the first half of basketball. And the slam dunk by Wall.
This is a player who has nights where he can just explode, and we're witnessing a big-time John Wall explosion tonight.
Wall against Harden. Goes up from the top of the key, and he hits the jump shot. Harden's got 12.
And when he breaks out the crossover, you can be sure he's going to leave somebody in his wake.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Back to Wall. On deep, McLemore drills the three-pointer. 5 points in the game.
That's why McLemore is out there. The way he opens up the floor with his outside shooting is huge for this team.
Wall against Harden. He gets it up. No good on the last second attempt there. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Rockets lead by 5. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David, performance from John Wall.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. Setting the floor for the Nets. Durant is out there with Green. Then it's Harden. Then there's Harris. And it's Jordan in at the 5, patrolling the paint.
That mid-range jumper was Tucker's shot. When he was a young player, he's more about the 3 now, but not all the time.
Top of the line, competitive spirit for P.J. Tucker. Doesn't mind doing the dirty work.
Yeah, he's just ecstatic to contribute to a winning team. After bouncing around all those years in Europe and then those losing years in Phoenix, he's found a home in Houston.
And it's the Rockets with the ball, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Lobs it up for Jordan, takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Now here's Wall. 13 points in the game. Great D that time from Green.
He usually takes advantage of D like that. Should have been a simple layup.
Harden against Wood. For the lead. Out to Harris. Takes a three. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Jordan's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Landry Shamet's checked in for the Nets. Brown comes in for James Harden. The Rockets also changing it up. DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for P.J. Tucker. Sterling Brown comes in for David Nwaba. And it's Gordon in for Oladipo. Now Brown following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins from deep. Durant down low. He's guarded by Cousins. And that one good.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Rockets trail by 3. Now a timeout called by Houston. Christian Wood.
You know, there are different styles among those big men, but they have one thing very much in common. They can dominate offensively. Face up or back to the basket, they can get it done.
The collection of post moves these young big fellas have, it's unreal. I'd say some of the most unstoppable moves in the game today.
Here is Durant. Following the basket by John Wall.
They couldn't have asked for much more from him today. He's been a key force in their offense.
Rockets trail by 3. Here's Wall. Here's Wood. A rebound by the Nets.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Brooklyn shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
So he gets them both.
And Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers to ever play. Not the most prolific scorer, but perhaps the most talented. He's dangerous from any part of the floor. And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Trying to take advantage of that extra space on the perimeter. You see a lot of this now.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Well, come on, guys. Someone has to rotate over. Defensively, that's just poor communication.
Greg, as scores go, Kevin Durant's as efficient as any.
I mean, Durant has an insane field goal percentage for the shots that he takes. I mean, when you factor in how many threes he puts up, it gets even more impressive. Durant takes so many shots where he's covered and is still efficient. It's just mind-blowing.
1:46 left here in the 3rd quarter. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Since the Nets acquired Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, the franchise has gone from being an up-and-comer to a potential powerhouse in the East. That's necessitated changes on the bench and on the court. The Nets have added some new veterans. The time is now for Brooklyn to stand up and make its move in the East. Kevin, back to you.
Well, we'll see how they do. David, thank you.
I love the unselfishness from Wall. When someone flashes open, I mean, he's right there with the pass.
Brown the pass to Green. Back to Brown. KD on the wing. 1:04 left in the 3rd quarter. 6 on the shot clock.
That's the kind of player McLemore is. He is always thinking of shooting as soon as he gets the ball off the pass.
The Nets have gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this 2nd half. Some tremendous shooting from them. Here's Durant, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the foul called on the Houston Rockets. The Nets have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point. The first free throw is good.
And the winning mentality of Durant, I mean, he can take over games. He puts the team on his back.
Brooklyn making some changes. Jordan, he's checked in for Green. Joe Harris comes in for Luwawu Cabarro. And James Harden subbed in for Landry Shamet. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for the Rockets. Oladipo comes in for Eric Gordon.
Important point there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
Oh, and when Harden is going strong to the rim, he's looking for the throwdown, whipping the rim down hard on that one.
27 seconds left in the third quarter. Harden against Wall. To the inside, and stolen by Harris.
And this will be the last possession of the quarter if they're patient.
Yeah, no need to rush right here. Let the clock run a little, then execute your offense.
Harden scanning the floor. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for Brooklyn. We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Nets leading by 3. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. P.J. Tucker is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's McLemore. Then there's Oladipo. And it's Nwaba in at the small forward.
The bearded wants mid-range jump shot money. I mean, he has a great feel for when to shoot.
And the dunk by McLemore.
You love how each side has risen to the challenge throughout this one.
Yeah, it seems like whenever one team scores, the other comes right back with a bucket of its own.
Now here's Jordan. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. And the Nets lead by 5.
A comfort zone of Jordan's. The closer he is to the rim, the more efficient he becomes.
Oladipo against Harden. Just 5 to shoot. And it's Harris with the ball for the Nets. Over in the corner, Brown. Back to Jordan. Pass to Harris. Nets passing it around. On the wing, Harden. Guarded by Oladipo. And that one drops for him. And now a 7-point Nets lead.
And it's clear that Harden is a high IQ player. I mean, in pick and roll sets, you can see it. His decision making is just extraordinary.
Harden against Oladipo. Brooklyn's gone to 3-point range 7 times tonight, knocked down 5 of them. Inside, here's Jordan. Durant finds Jordan. Back to Durant, and here's Harden. Guarded by Oladipo. Harden against Oladipo. The offensive rebound. Harden right side. Over Oladipo. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Harden's got the lead up to 9 now for the Nets.
He's a top-tier scorer in this game.
This one over.
The defensive intensity has to pick up, and I'm sure coach is going to let them know that.
Jeff Green is checked in for Brooklyn. And then for Houston, Christian Woods checked in for Cousins. And Gordon subbed in for Ben McLemore. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, guys. Well, the Rockets coach had some words for his team during the timeout. He is not pleased. He told them they have to make a push right now. He said, look, we got to make a move, or I've got to pull the plug. Pretty blunt stuff, Kevin. Back to you.
The form, the extension, the release. You got to love watching Harden's jump shot.
And Oladipo, here we go. And finished off by Oladipo.
And how high can you fly? I mean, he finishes that one with some pop.
GA after getting loose in the lane with a scintillating move. Now here's Harden. Oladipo with the block.
You're not going to beat Oladipo with that. I mean, Victor plays hard on both sides of the ball.
Harden kicks to Durant. From deep three-point range. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 5th assist in this one. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th. And Oladipo, here we go. And Jordan sends it back.
And really, that's the brilliance of Jordan. Just denying those shots there with tremendous power.
Here's Harden, and Harden with the stuff.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness in it.
Rockets trail by 12. 1:10 left to play in the final quarter. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And simply look at how Oladipo is built. Dude has a huge upper body. It is hard to check that.
Houston making a switch. Wall's checked in. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
Always a sign of a solid offensive performance, but his movement and his shot selection have also both been tremendous.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Now here is Harris. Again, the Nets for 2.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Nets.
If they had to battle for this win, there were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the floor of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for James Harden.
His vision and his ball movement impressed me the most. A tremendous night for him passing the basketball.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. A three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.